Yo, what's up guys? This is the mechanics advice for every rank in Rocket League. So, I'm going to be grouping together bronze, silver, and golds because I think they all have the same piece of advice, which is that you need to genuinely just learn to hit the ball, firstly, and then secondly to just hit the ball hard. So, firstly in bronze and silver, obviously you just need to be able to hit the ball, at all, like anywhere. A lot of people, literally just are not good at hitting the ball yet, so you just need to keep playing the game and just learn to, hit the ball. Now, for gold, you just need to be able to do the same thing, but a little bit harder. So if you can get, good contact, bangs like this, that's going to be super, super useful for you in gold. If you can hit this ball hard like this, obviously not as good as that, but if you're able to hit the ball hard, you're going to get out of gold pretty easily because you're going to be able to score a lot of shots, because like no one in gold is saving most power shots or, like any real shot that's anywhere near target with decent power. People are not going to be saving that, so you just need to hit the ball hard, and that's the best kind of mechanic that you should really learn. Now, moving on to Platinum. In Platinum, you need to learn how to dribble the ball and take control and time more. So, the most essential kind of mechanic that I would learn is literally just dribbling. Firstly, obviously, bounce like the ball on top of your car dribbles, right? The carry. Just being able to do this, going around. You can make little cuts and stuff, right? Just being able to do this is really, really good in Plat, because you can play it around people, and afterwards, right, you can start to incorporate some other mechanics to it. But even if you don't incorporate any mechanics, you literally just dribble. I've done so many like goals like this, just like, kind of doing like all these different sorts of cuts like this, and just going around people, and it works very, very well. So the way that I would practice this is very, very simple. Literally just go into free play, and this is what I did when I was low ranked. I would just get the ball on top of my car. Obviously, you should not do the back smot thing, but then just drive around, and literally just hold the ball on top of your car as long as you can. Right? I talked about this in my Ultimate Flicks guide as well. Basically, if you want to learn how to dribble, this is one of the best drills for it. Like if you want to just be able to dribble the ball on top of your car as long as you can, just do this. This drill will be super, super helpful for you. Now, secondly, what you can do is you can also do bounce dribbles, right? Bounce dribbles are also really good. So being able to just kind of learn how to keep the ball bouncing in front of you like this, and then you can after go for like a shot or something, right? So it would look something like this, where we're kind of getting a touch, and then we can go for shots and stuff like that. So bounce dribbles and carries are kind of your two best friends in Platinum. I especially like the carry, but the bounce dribble is also super, super useful because you can go for power shots. You can do a lot of different stuff with it, and the dribbling, they're just a regular carry is really, really good as well. Now, moving on to Diamond. If you're in Diamond, now you get into some of the nice stuff, which is flicks. Now, this means that you have to incorporate what we learned in the previous rank. So you learned dribbles, now you learn how to flick. Because the thing is, having the ball on top of your car, it's no threat if you can never, flick. Right? You're never gonna just drive the ball into the goal every single time. So you need to have a kind of a good flick on you, so then you can be more of a threatening player, because that's what you need to be. That's all these mechanics are for, so you can become a threatening player on offense. So for example, a flick like that. But obviously, in Diamond you're not gonna be able to do that. So what do we do in Diamond? We do some simple flicks. We do the front flip flick. We do the diagonal, or if you know how to speed flip, then speed flip flick. Right? Just get the ball on top of your car, front flip. Boom. Really, really not that difficult if you put in enough practice and time into it. Speed flip flick. Again, not that difficult if you just are willing to put in some time into it. At first, they're super hard, but then once you put in enough time, they're gonna get very, very easy. And the way I would practice these flicks is, again, I like free play. So I come in here, I would do this. Get the ball on top of my car, boom, flick. Okay, reset the ball, come over here, the ball on top of my car, boom, flick, okay, whatever, go again. And I would just do this. And I've done so many hours of this drill that like I would say pretty good flicks, right? I have probably better flicks than most like GC2, GC3 level players. So the reason for that is purely because I have put in the hours into learning flicks that most people are not doing. So if you want to get good at flicks, I would just spam this drill. Genuinely, you don't need anything else. The best kind of training methods and the best kind of ways, to practice are usually not the most complicated, right? Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the correct one. And it's, in this case, the exact same way. If you want to get better at a specific mechanic, just, find one way to do it and just do that. Until you don't want to do it anymore. Like, if I, got bored of this drill ever, sure, don't have to do it anymore. Don't force yourself. But I find it fun. I like this kind of... Some would, call this repetitive. Some would call this really, boring or whatever. Maybe for you, yeah. Maybe this is not the method for you. I like this drill. If you don't, well, you can also practice flicks, and something else probably. But I've found that this is, in my opinion, gets you the most repetitions, per minute and per hour of your time. So it's the most time efficient. It's also very, actual, just realistic practice. It's also just really, really good for you, for in-game scenarios, because I'm not spawning the ball on top of my car. I'm actually getting it there as well. So it's kind of, getting it from a ground setup like this, slowing down, getting the touches, getting it up, and then flicking it. It's all very realistic, and so I like this drill a lot. If you don't like it, whatever, do what works for you. But that's essentially it. So now moving on to Champ. In Champ, the mechanic kind of advice that I have for you is that you should just learn to get really, really good at shooting. A lot of people in Champ want to overcomplicate things. Champ is a rank where you're already really good at the game compared to the average player. You're pretty good, you're getting up there. And the thing is that a lot of people want to do in Champ is that they want to think that they're really high ranked now, they're good at the game, whatever. So then they think that they need to be doing crazy stuff, right? A lot of people in Champ, especially high Champ, but some people even in low Champ, they want to start going for these double taps and these flip resets and these whatever. Thing is, to hit GC, to get out of Champ, you do not need to be hitting double, triple flip resets. You just don't. What you need is to have really good fundamentals. And the biggest fundamental, from my opinion, for Champ ranks is shooting. So the way that I would practice this is actually not in free play, because I think shooting is a very bad mechanic to train free play. I would just do shooting training packs. So this one with 50 shots, code will be in the description, is one that I really enjoy. Right? This is not super easy, but I think a lot of these shots are something that still, champion players can hit. And these shots, you want to basically just do these right like that. You want to get them into the corner. A shot that goes, with no power into the middle of the net, maybe not quite that, but like this. A shot like this, I'm not gonna accept, right? And you shouldn't either. Because the thing is, in a real game, if you shot like that, it's pretty much always getting saved if there's a guy in net. Same with this, no power. Same with this, no placement. But here, that was a bit better. That I would honestly be able to count. Again, middle, right? Again, middle. So you want to be able to place it in the corners, right? That's what you're kind of getting down here, something like that, right? That's a very good shot, and that's not going to actually, get saved a lot of the time in real rank games. So you would just run this training pack and try to hit it into the corners as much as you can, right? It doesn't matter if it's top, bottom, whatever. Just try and avoid hitting it right into the middle, and just kind of try and place these shots. Right? Obviously, at first, if it's too difficult, just try and score it all, right, with good power. But once you can, score it with good power pretty consistently, then you should start, going for placement. I'm trying to get this top left, and that's fine. Because, if you get a lot of power, but you get no placement, it's sometimes still fine. If you get no power and good placement, sometimes it's still fine. That's still decently, often a goal, right? Also, I would skip the shot 9 because I think this is just, I don't know. I think this shot is kind of unrealistic to real games, but if you can do it if you want. And a lot of these shots are just, they're just really just getting down your technique on shooting the ball, because that's what you need in Champ. You need to be able to hit the ball. You've already learned how to hit it hard and how to hit it accurately. So it's just a bunch of these scenarios are very realistic, right? The ball, comes out to you and you have to score. These are very realistic, very, very kind of in-game oriented. And that means that you're going to get really good at kind of scoring the ball in, a range of different ways. Obviously it's also got some aerial ones, some redirect ones like this, where you need to kind of be able to hit it off of a pass to you, right? Someone's passing to you. You got some more rollers, you know, some aerial ones like this again, you know, just kind of, you're getting passed to you. A bunch more rollers, you know, this one you have to pre-flip for, number 27. You can't actually hit this one without a pre-flip. So you have to do something like this. But this one you can hit without a pre-flip. It's kind of a slower version. Got, you know, a couple of these like shots. This one you have to fast aerial for, so if you can't do that, just skip it. And then, you know, just got like a bunch of shots. Here you got some aerial ones, right? You got some aerial shots. And essentially I would just run this pack if you're a champ, and I would just run this as much as you can. And just try your best to place these shots. And let you just focus on placement. Obviously, you should focus on power as well. But really the main point is the placement. Like a shot like that like does not do anything. Like, you know, like we're never going to be scoring with shots that are dead center of the goal unless they're like, you know, really, really powerful, which a lot of the time, you know, they're not going to be. So these are also just a bunch of awkward shots, right? It's very easy to hit these over the bar because it kind of bounces at you like that. Like this as well. A bunch more. Here you got some like slow ones. You got to take time here. Let it fall down a little bit so then you can place it. Because if you jump too early, then it's going to just be awkward to shoot these. So basically I'll just run this pack. Again, code will be in the description. And literally just spam that. Because if you're able to get really good shooting, you will literally dominate in champ ranks, in my opinion. So now my advice for GC players, you know, I'm a GC player myself, GC3 peak, so this is, you know, kind of for me as well, but I think it applies for every GC player, which is that my mechanical advice to you is to just do all of the above. Do everything that we mentioned so far in this video, and just get really, really good at those things. So what I've really talked about in this video has just been like solid fundamentals. It's been dribbles, flicks, hitting the ball hard, shooting. These are all great fundamentals that you need to learn in order to get really good at the game. So it's like, for GC to SSL, you don't need crazy stuff, right? Obviously, yes, to get to SSL, sure, you probably need flip resets. But actually, maybe you don't, right? Like, Flakes has probably done it without it. Whatever. It's like, if you get really good at the fundamentals, you can make up for your, like, lack of flashiness. And the thing is, like, a lot of the time, you can just outplay people by having sheer, you know, fundamental kind of skills. Like, you don't need to be able to triple flip reset like this, but you know, if you can just have this kind of ball, you know, you take it around one, and then, you know, you flick it above another, like, and then, you know, you have like a free pass middle or whatever it might be. If you have solid fundamentals, I promise you, you can hit at least GC3. And, you know, if you have really, really, really good fundamentals, then you can hit SSL probably, right? The thing is, a lot of people neglect this stuff, you know? Like, a lot of people don't work on their shooting, or on their flicks, or on their, like, ground dribbles, right? They don't work on these things. For example, I myself have, like, found myself, you know, like I said, doing that training pack, and I found myself just doing shooting training again, because I was, like, missing a lot of shots. And then as I started doing that training pack again, he instantly started scoring more goals, just because it was, like, a fundamental that I was kind of beginning to neglect again, even though I had previously trained it, right? And whenever you neglect something that's a fundamental, well, it's going to downgrade. Now when it downgrades, you're going to feel the kind of, well, the consequences, right? You're gonna be less consistent, you're gonna play worse, and you're not gonna be able to, you know, kind of have that arsenal, or that in your arsenal, right? Like, if you're not good at shooting because you haven't trained it, you know, in a couple of weeks or months or whatever, then, well, guess what? You might have a game where, you know, you need to, like, score on 0 seconds with a power shot, and you literally just cannot shoot. You just can't, because, like, you just end up missing, and then you end up with losing the game, right? Now imagine if you maybe, you know, ran some power shots, training packs, right? Maybe you would score. So that's kind of my advice to you, is really just focus on these fundamentals if you're a GC Plus player, and really, really just pick whatever fundamental of these is your worst. So let's say you're good at shooting but you're bad at dribbling, or you're good at dribbling and shooting but you're bad at flicks, or you're bad at, you know, shooting and you're good at dribbling flicks. Just practice the one that you're weak at, You know, practice the one that you think of these fundamentals that we previously mentioned in for GC Plus. Just kind of think which one are you worst at, and then just try and do that over and over again, and literally just repeat it all the time. And once you get that, then you'll be able to have really good fundamentals that makes you, a really solid player to play with and against. So that's all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed and you like how I explain things, make sure to check out my one-on-one coaching in the description. Right, I'm a coach on Metafy, where I do these replay reviews for people. I basically just go through your replays, tell you what you're doing wrong, tell you what I would do instead, tell you what the right play is, kind of, and essentially how to fix your mistakes. Right. So if you guys are interested in any of that, it's the first link in the description, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So I will see you all in the next one. Good luck in your games, and peace out.